welcome to our fourth installment of our Jackpots episode. This is our monthly Jackpots episode, and you guys have sent in a tremendous amount of Jackpots.
Yeah, I'm glad it's once a month.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this thing is rough to go through. It's there's so many to choose from. And I mean, there are like, honest to God, there are dozens of them that are, could be on this, could be picked. And we just kind of like scatter them around. We like reach in and pull them out. Yeah. So again, like we always say, if yours hasn't come up yet, be patient because, we're pulling them from months ago and we're pulling some recent ones. And, man, there's some good ones. Yeah,
and we're getting a lot. So thank you for sending them. People really seem to like the show, but it's definitely more work than we had anticipated.
It's a lot of analysis and it's just a lot of connecting dots. But anyway, let's get started.
All right, let's do it. Before we get started on this week's episode, we are going to go back to last month's Jackpots show where we talked about the jackpot of the century, and it was on I think it was Double
Super Times Pay.
Double Super Times Pay. That's right.
That was one like $5 and whatever it was 25-cent bet. Turned in 60,000.
Incredible.
And it was it was based on the fact that all these max multipliers were hit.
That's right.
We talked about how improbable it was. Well, I kind of knew this rule that on that particular game, if you get a dealt royal flush on the regular Super Times, if you get a dealt royal flush, you automatically get 20-time multiplier.
The 20 times multiplier.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was brought up to us in the comments that on triple double, which was the game, aces with the kicker also pays the same amount as the royal.
4,000 credits.
That's probably what happened. So we were making it out to be like the most amazing, streak of luck, but it wasn't quite. I mean, it was still great, but that's probably why the 20. I don't know that game so well, but probably because it pays as much as the royal, that 20 times rule probably came into effect. And the second one from last week was another good comment about the jackpot scroll at Red Rock. Remember that? And we were talking about how many, when you look at it, you can see how many royals are hit in a day at a big casino. Right. But somebody, this is good. Again, you get the comments, the wisdom of crowds, and somebody said, well, there probably weren't that many like jackpots that were hit. Well, they were jackpots, but it's probably like one or two players playing that every time they hit something like maybe a full house or something, they're playing such high denom, they're generating the W2Gs. Right. And so they're listing those as jackpots. So it wouldn't be that many individual royals going on. It's just, somebody playing a very, very high denom. That's probably true. But still, there's a whole lot of taxables being generated.
Right. And like an example of this is like when you see online, you see Vegas Matt playing these, $1,200 hits on a slot machine. You know? It's like he's generating a hand pay on almost everything that he scores on.
Yeah. And so those would go into that scroll, and maybe that was the reason for the volume. So two good comments. Again, keep the comments coming. We don't mind being caught not knowing something or in an error, and we will fix it.
And since this is our Jackpot show, we're going to be talking about a question of the day, which comes from the Las Vegas Advisor and talks about the biggest jackpots. So from a May 8th question of the day.
Recent, yeah.
Yeah, very recent question of the day. These go back. You can see them. You got 7,000 questions of the day.
I think more like 8 or 9 now.
Dating back many years.
That we've done. Yeah. Incredible. All archived.
One of the benefits you get by being a member. Okay, so the question of the day is from the May 8th question of the day. It says, what is the largest online jackpot ever hit? What's the biggest progressive casino jackpot ever hit? And what is the largest lottery jackpot ever hit?
All right, so here were the answers. And you know what? I don't schedule these. So it was funny. We were just getting ready for the Jackpot show. And I go, well, there's a jackpot question.
Right.
So, all right, so here were the answers from our research team. The biggest online jackpot ever hit happened recently, last February.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This February. I mean, basically the one that just passed. 9.28 million generated on a 20-cent bet on DraftKings Irish Potluck Progressive Slot.
How's that possible?
It just grows and grows and grows. It's just really hard to hit. Yeah. It just has been going up and going up, and a lot of people play online. Now, there's only like 7 states that have online gambling right now. But, DraftKings is in a lot of them. And it grew and grew and grew, and it went to 9.28.
Incredible hit.
Yep. The biggest brick and mortar slot jackpot, 39.7 million.
Okay.
Megabucks.
Sure.
Excalibur in 2003.
Okay, wow.
All right.
I figured it would be megabucks, though.
Yeah, it figures. And then the biggest lottery jackpot, at least in the United States, $2.04 billion. The Powerball in 2022.
Yep, I remember that one.
Now,
too.
anybody, if you're a member of LVA and you want to go look at that, that was the May 8th question of the day. And there's all kinds of detail about each one of them. So it's like, for instance, the guy who hit the megabucks for 39.7, like the next week went out and bought a $30 million mansion. So, there's all kinds of stories. So go check it out. Question of the day is a pretty cool feature we have there.
And now on to the jackpots. This one is really fun. We're calling this our Virgin Royals. This is when somebody hits a single line royal flush for the first time. And this time you got 2 LVA members.
Yeah, well, more than LVA members, LVA family.
That's right, LVA family members.
All right, 2 people from the LVA family hitting their first single line royals.
Yes.
All right, the first one was George Antonakis.
That's right, we have some video.
We know him as the Angry Greek.
That's right.
He's been on the show a few times. George does nothing but complain, even when he's winning. But I don't know how many times I heard that he would go a million years and never hit a royal.
Okay.
So here's George's royal.
That's right. And George is a professional poker player. George plays poker.
Yeah. So he probably never hit a royal on a live table either.
Right.
But he says video poker, he's never going to get it. So here's George's royal.
Yep.
It was close. Close.
Yeah, you said it would never happen. It's happened just after I texted you. Still owe me that $420. There's Abel and Maggie. She's hit 2 for 1,000. Send it! Send it!
All right. Congratulations, George. And the other one is yours truly. I hit a single line. My first single line, I was playing 10 cents. That's $400.
$400. And you've hit some royals on multi-line.
Yep.
But this is the first time your first single line royal. George filled with 1, you filled 3.
Well, I got to tell you, when I look back to some old episodes, there's old episodes of us talking, and I'm saying, I've never hit a royal, Anthony. One day I'm gonna, and now I've hit multiple royal flushes, but it's all on multi-line video poker. This is the first single line.
What's next? A quarter royal?
Yeah. Got to get up to 1,000, and then
all right,
go up from there.
And you'll make the next show. Okay, congratulations, LVA guys.
Yes. Oh, and I should probably give a shout out to Mardi Gras Casino because that's where I hit my royal.
Ah, good. Nobody goes there.
We'll say hi to Jerry.
Yes, Jerry. You know what? That's a reason to go. Jerry, the bartender. She's cool.
And this jackpot we call LVA strikes again, and it does. We went to the Eureka Casino to eat at Fat Choi's and use the LVA's member rewards coupon there. While playing our free play, we hit this. We were down to our last $4.99 of free play. Well, that's pretty cool. So then they come back to say, and on the very next day, we were playing and we ran into none other than Anthony. And he told us about the promotion at the Charleston. So we stopped there, and on our way home, while playing through my $20 of free play, I won this. Wow. Not my first royal, but it's my first sequential royal. No extra money for that, but still a great win. Anthony, thanks for the recommendation and going to the Charleston tonight.
That's from Troy W.
That's right. That's from Troy and his wife, Marilyn.
Yeah. So, all right, let's look at the first one. What a hit. Almost $18,000.
Incredible hit at Eureka.
You can't see what it is, and he didn't tell us, but I think it's called Sally's Shrimp Mania.
Yeah, it's like a sister of Lobster Mania.
I think it is Sally's Shrimp Mania. So there it is. I mean, he was playing LVA free play.
Yeah.
So he was down to his last $5 or something like that.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so pretty good. But here's the thing about the Charleston.
Okay.
I ran into him. I see them around from place to place, Troy and Maryland. And I asked him, it was Monday night. I said, you going to the Charleston? The Charleston's a bar on Charleston, by the Strip. And he goes, no, why? I go, well, they got a good deal there. It's to get a new card, play 50, get $20 free.
That's right.
And then on Monday nights from 7 till midnight, it's play 100 and get another $20.
That's right.
So like $40 in free play.
Okay.
So I've been doing this for a while. I go there all the time. Sometimes I'll hit something. He goes one time. I tell him to go. He goes that night. He hits a royal in sequence.
Yeah.
10 through ace.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that's good. But, I've never hit a royal in sequence.
That's wild.
I tell him to go to the Charleston. He goes. He hits one.
It's hilarious.
So, So Troy and Maryland have been pretty hot. Where they, here's another thing, again, that we do in LVA. We put these things up in a blog called Changes as They Happen.
Right.
So, you know, if you're an LVA member, watch the blogs. When you see changes as they happen, it's usually a new bar promotion going up.
Right.
And it turned into $1,000 for Troy.
And why do we go to bar promotions? Because they're cool.
They're fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're positive. You know, when you play a bar promotion, as long as you're playing the promotion, you got the edge.
And in our next jackpot, this is called a $5 Denom Royal Flush from the Rio with Hank F. Thanks for the shout out on Beer Friday today. Here's my jackpot, $5 single line, 9-6 jacks or better. I used my LVA coupon for the free play match.
There you go again. Well, you know, that shout out on Beer Friday is Hank sent us some beer.
Yeah.
Right? So we gave him a shout out there. Then, you know, he watches the show. We talked about the Rio, you know, changing their games to 9-6 all over, you know, and others. NSU Deuces Wild, which somebody tried to correct me saying it's called Not So Ugly. It's not So Ugly Deuces. It's Not So Ugly Ducks. It's both. It's you know, they say both.
Well, deuces are ducks.
Yeah, because deuces are ducks, right? Yeah. Right? That's what they call them. So anyway, he was playing the 9-6 for $5 denom, hits the Royal. Another one just fills it in with one.
Incredible.
Yeah.
$20,000 Royal Flush. But again, he's playing $25 a hand.
Well, he started it on LVA free play again.
There you go.
So, I mean, he must have hit that one pretty quick, but nice jackpot.
All right, you guys, now we're getting into the lightning round. We're going to move a little bit faster. Here is Dealt in Tunica with Michael M. I'm a blackjack player turned video poker player. My area is Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Florida.
Yeah. Okay. So he plays. All right. So he's a blackjack player. He went to video poker because he's been reading about it and hearing about it. Pretty sure he's playing here at the Fitz Casino in Tunica. All right, and nice 5K dealt. And there we go with triple double bonus again, right?
Yep.
Triple double bonus again. That's a volatile game, big payoffs, and that's why people play it.
You can also call this ducks with a kicker.
Nice.
This one is called 2 Jackpots at Main Street Station with Phyllis S. She says, my hubby and I spent 5 nights in Las Vegas in April, and we like to stay at the Main Street Station, so that's where I hit both of these jackpots playing the casino bar. I felt lucky enough getting the ace of spades to hit the Royal on $1 denom, then aces with a kicker on $1 triple-double bonus on our last night. Unbelievable. Mahalo, Phyllis S.
Mahalo. Playing downtown at Main Street Station.
Yes.
Think she's from Hawaii?
I think so.
I think so. The 9th Island, right? That's Vegas being the 9th Island for Hawaiians.
That's right.
Yeah, the Hawaiians love to go downtown and play down there. You know, terrific. There she goes. So you got she filled a single card draw again. There's another one of those, and triple double bonus one more time.
Yep.
Right. That's what? I don't know what that is.
It's incredible. You know, it's nice to get dealt 3 aces, and you know you got a shot, and she nailed them both. She got the 4th ace with the kicker.
She had a nice trip on those 2 hands. She made $8K.
Yeah. Aloha, Phyllis. And this next one is a slot machine. This is Huff and Puff at the Palms from Jason S.
This is a video. Let's just roll it.
Major, 2 majors.
incredible. 2 majors.
Yeah, 2 majors on this. I guess that's pretty tough to do. You would think so. It looked like the first one was a progressive, and then you hit the second one for 1,000, so it reset, and you hit it, boom, boom. You hit them in succession. Almost 5,500.
Incredible.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this slot machine. You ever played it?
Oh, yeah. Huff and Puff is fun.
Yeah, it's nice jackpot.
And this one's fun. It's another dealt royal flush at the New York from GW. Those are the initials. I'm a longtime Las Vegas Advisor member and was playing at the New York last week when I was dealt a royal flush on a quarter machine. I wonder what those odds are. Sure was fun.
Maybe 649,740?
That's right. That's
One in 649,740.
Okay, that's the number.
There's your answer.
This next one's called a vintage jackpot at the Four Queens from Matt N. He says, I scored an amazing jackpot at the Four Queens. I think this is a rare hit, and especially rare for me. Thanks for helping me get my coupon book despite Excalibur not being too smart about it. What happened?
Oh, the Excalibur thing? That was, we have delivery service.
Yeah.
Sometimes people go, oh, I forgot to order. There's not enough time for me to get it in the mail. I don't want to drive to the office, which you can always do. You just come here. But we have courier service for $20.
Right.
So what happened was we took it there. They lost it. And we had to go back and forth, everybody talking to everybody to finally find it. And they found his book.
That's hilarious.
So that was it. Yeah, you know what? We always get it straightened out.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's a glitch. The casinos, they don't really like doing it, but we do it. Okay, but look at this interesting jackpot. I mean, how often do you see Double Diamond Deluxe anymore?
Yeah, never.
Old time slot machine, right? So he hit the highest jackpot on this one for 1,600. But look at this. This is why these old machines are different. Notice how there's how the payoffs go symmetrically. So it doesn't matter. It goes 2 and then to 4, 5 and then to 10. It's just you play 1 coin or 2 coins, it gets doubled.
Right.
So the reality is, in terms of the casino edge, often with the newer machines, if you play less, it costs you or you can't hit the top jackpot. With this machine, you can.
Right.
And you can literally play 1 coin instead of 2 and you don't take a hit in the expected return.
That's really interesting to note.
Yeah, it's old-time machine, fun to play. You don't see them around anymore.
And this jackpot, it's called Wife's Jackpot at Circa with Bob W.
This one's not quite lightning roundish, is it?
No, this one's a little bit longer, but we think it's worth it. And it starts by saying, love the show, love the question of the day, love the books, and I stay up to date with what's happening in Vegas on your news page, thelasvegasadvisor.com. My wife and I were staying at Circa for a 3-day trip. She is not a big gambler, but I taught her the basics of double-double bonus on our last trip. And that's the game that we picked to play this time. We were having fun, and she told me that the best part was watching my excitement when she hits the good hands. Well, about an hour later, she hit a big one. I occasionally had been looking from my machine, keeping an eye on her holds when the 2 aces came up. She knew to hold them, and on the draw, 2 more appeared along with the kicker. There you go. I said, oh, wow, you did it. She hit the aces with the kicker. The machine locked up. She was spellbound, and the credit meter kept rising and rising. I don't think she knew how rare a hand it was, but it all sunk in when the attendant came over and placed 20 $100 bills in her hand, one right after the other.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of nice. That's a fun one. First of all, in the beginning, a little bit of another one, a little bit of an ad for LVA. What he's talking about when he says, I love the question of the day, I love the books, I love the news feed. He's talking about all the stuff, again, that we have for, that members can get at LasVegasAdvisor.com. Whether you're a $50 member or a $3 member, $3 a month gets everything except the coupon book. Okay, end of advertisement. There's 2 things I like about this one. Aside from the obvious, it's just, husband and wife. I think that's cool. But when he talks about always looking over at her plays.
That's right.
And you see that over and over again with people who have taught, husband and wife often, whoever's taught the other, you're always watching them like, no, not that, or yes, that was a good play, whatever. I've got a buddy who's an expert level player, and his new girlfriend knows nothing about it. And he gets so frustrated, he gets mad, she gets mad at him. It's like, he's watching her constantly like a hawk. And so I go, let's switch positions. Yeah. And I'll sit next to her. And I'm a little better bedside manner, right? Kind of a better bedside manner. I'm like, that's all right. No, hold on. Did you watch? That was one thing that was kind of funny for me to see. Yeah. All right. Second is the game they were playing. Remember when we had Bob Dancer on? He was talking about the progressives, all the good progressives at the D, Golden Gate, and Circa, where they were playing.
That's right. He said he always checks those.
Yes. And if you look at this jackpot, you can see that it's, well over 4,000. It's almost 5,000. They were actually playing this game, if they were playing perfectly, at 99.47%.
Okay.
This game hits break even at 5,850.
Okay, so still a little bit of a ways to go.
They had a ways to go, but you can see they were playing 99.5%.
Yeah.
Because they were playing a good progressive. If they were making the right changes in their play, which is basically going for the royal more often. All right, but people ask, well, where'd you get these numbers? Where do you find them? Good opportunity to tout the Frugal Video Poker Scouting Guide from Gene Scott.
Gene Scott every time.
Yeah, and this has many games that you play. It has the break-even points for quarter play and dollar play.
And you use yours a lot.
Oh, I've worn mine ragged. I mean, it's got fingerprints all over it. It's bent up, and I won't switch it out because I go, I'll just wreck another one. But it's a really great product. I think it's $25. I think.
Okay. Yeah, we'll put a link in the description box.
Cool. Yeah, it's something. It's a great tool for anybody who wants to up their game.
And we conclude with 2 royal flushes from Biloxi from Anna B. While casino hopping in Biloxi to cash some free play, I was playing bonus poker and I was dealt a royal flush. Incredible.
Yeah.
Another dealt. And what is that, Anthony? What are the odds? 1 in 600?
649,740.
And then Anna B goes on to say, and 2 days later, I hit another one. Wow. And she says, I'm betting this is a once-in-a-lifetime event. Well, it seems like people are hitting royal flushes all over the place, Anthony.
Yeah, and getting them dealt and everything. I mean, just 2 or 3 on this show, right?
Yeah.
I would say it's a one-in-a-lifetime event for her.
Right.
Meaning I don't think she's going to get a dealt royal and then another one 2 days later.
Right. But somebody in Vegas is getting a dealt royal.
Somebody's doing it as we're speaking.
Right.
We can see that with all the jackpots that people send in to us, all the ones we've watched today, all the ones we watched prior. I mean, there's a lot of jackpot going on around Vegas and around the country, that's for sure.
Absolutely. But keep sending them to us, guys. We'll do another one next month. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Anything else to add, Anthony?
No, just like you said, keep sending the jackpots. We'll get to them.
Yeah.
We'll smash them, stack them, and, get them in there. We're going to, we got a Beer Friday coming up, and we've got our next guest is going to be Jonathan Jossel.
That's right, CEO of the Plaza Casino.
Great, very good casino, and I really like Jonathan. He understands the business from both sides. I think that's going to be an interesting one, so look for it.
All right, and that's it for this week. We'll see you next week.
Well, I'm going to